The Meg Show continues. Tourney to Tyrell.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Meg Show. We are here, episode 9, and it is officially postseason. We are in playoff play for the NCAA tournament, and we know it's been a little while, but we figured we'd kind of just round up everything kind of leading into the second round of NCAA games and kind of just go through it from Selection Sunday to things that might have shocked us into the first round games. We had All-Americans get released, Touraton finalists came out, and now we're looking towards the second round of games coming up this week as well. So we've got a hustle and bustle. We've got a lot to get through, a lot of thoughts, and we'll just kind of dive right into it for you guys, starting off with the automatic qualifiers. How about we start there?
Yeah, let's
back
start
to
there.
the beginning. Leading into it, we already had those few teams that had won their conference prior to all the other ones as well. ACC play, Big Ten, the CAA, we had Stony Brook win there. Florida won the Big 12 for the first time in conference presence, conference creation. I don't even know what to call that.
Oh yeah, because what were they in? Who was in the Who was in the Big 12? Is that
It's
like
their first,
that's their first year?
The Big 12 is like their first year in conference.
What's like Butler in?
Big East, or they were.
Oh, Big East, yeah.
Yeah, we have Fairfield, who has absolutely dominated the MAC for many, many seasons. We've actually played Fairfield before in the NCAA tournament. Such a tough team, very gritty. LIU won their conference in the NEC. Navy won the Patriot League, which I thought was huge for them. When was the last time they won that? Maybe like 2017, I want to say.
They played Army, and they had lost to Army in regular season, right?
Yes, which Akron, please. Akron, right? Akron. Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't say my A's the right way, but they have won their conference for the first time ever, which is really, really exciting for them. Yale wins the Ivy. Mercer, who also sneaky team from the Big South. I just feel like always making their presence known. They've had some transfers. One of them specifically, Haley Radigan, went to Northwestern and absolutely popped off there. UMass won the A10 for the 1 millionth time, which is always a fun thing to do. Albany comes back into the tournament as well. And we've got JMU in. So those 15 teams qualified automatically. And then came Selection Sunday. And this Selection Sunday, I was on my toes for it. I don't know. I was curious to see where everyone was going to end up, how things had shifted as the season went on, especially towards the end of the season. And I don't really feel like anyone got kind of stiffed.
Yeah. Wow, it feels like so long ago.
I know. If you guys are listening, we really got to bring it back here with our brains. Way back to, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone got gypped either.
Yeah, I kind of feel like everyone who was in the tournament made sense to me. I don't think anyone was left out, where I feel like you kind of see that in the men's tournament a little bit more, where you're kind of like, oh my gosh, can't believe this team didn't make it in. But yeah, I think each of these brackets made sense. We've got North Carolina that hosted, Northwestern's hosting, BC is hosting, and then Florida as well. Who do you think has the toughest road?
I think the BC bracket.
I also kind of think the BC bracket as well, but I will say the Florida bracket is probably maybe the second hardest. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I would go with BC as the first hardest.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's
like Stony Brook beats Loyola and then has to play BC. That's tough.
That is a tough one, but that game was close. But no, I kind of feel like for BC, for some reason, I feel like they kind of always have a harder bracket. And maybe that just comes with being like a 2 seed, but...
Wait, I was looking at it in, like, BC had it easy, the other teams had it hard.
Yes, so what I mean is, like, BC's, like, host bracket, I feel like that bracket's always difficult.
Yeah.
So I might have worded that wrong, but that's what I meant. But yeah, I feel like they're always hosting a tough bracket. Yeah, and I guess with that we can kind of jump into those first round games. From there,
let's jump.
let's jump. We're gonna jump all the way back to Friday, May 9th, 2025. And I think for the majority of it, the first round games kind of went how
Stony Brook Loyola
think they were gonna go, but I think there was
I think I would have thought Loyola was gonna win.
I had my faith in Stony Brook. If you checked out our Instagram, we did post our brackets. If you haven't gotten a chance to go peek at it, go take a look. Yeah, Meg picked Loyola. I had Stony Brook for this one. Stony Brook's defense.
Really?
Stony Brook's defense for me is just, I think they would have been too much for Loyola. And I was right.
You were right.
Thanks. And then, yeah, that game was probably the only one that people would have been like, oh my gosh. And then I thought Navy was going to beat Clemson. I did, but Clemson came out on top for that game. Love to see an ACC win, but I was feeling for Navy there.
I think Albany kind of kept it close. Obviously thought Yale was going to win, but I think they kept it close for what it's worth. I think James Madison, I don't know, Duke is rolling right now.
Duke's a scary team to face.
Roll JMU, beat Virginia. I mean, now they have to face Florida, but they're looking good in the postseason.
Yeah. Also, when I turned on the Albany Yale game last week, Albany was beating Yale by 4. Yale didn't really become a leader in that game, I think, till like the end of the fourth quarter. Albany was kind of leading that game the entire time.
Yeah. So I guess that's really, those are the only things that sort of surprised me or caught my attention.
Yeah, that kind of stood out. I think every other game kind of went how people would have predicted it would have gone. I did think the Penn Army game would have been a little bit closer. Penn 10-piece them. But I guess moving on to that one, we go to Sunday, May 11th. We're looking at the second round of games. And this is where things start to get, I will say, even more exciting.
Yeah, so second round, that was Sunday, May 11th. We had Florida versus Stanford. That went to double overtime. We had a few double overtime, but Florida won 13-12 in double overtime. My bracket picked Stanford. I had them going to the Final Four. I mean, hey, they went to double overtime against Florida, so it's not like they got rolled, but that hurts my bracket, that's for sure. But yeah, that was obviously a close game. I mean, looking at the box score and the breakout of the team stats, you had Stanford with 29 shots, Florida with 27. Stanford 12 turnovers, Florida was 16. Caused turnovers, Florida had 11, Stanford had 8. Draw controls, Stanford had 14, Florida had 16. So pretty even all the way through. And then throughout the quarters, you had 2 goals for each team in the first. Stanford had 2 in the second. Florida had 4 in the second. Coming out of halftime, Stanford had 5. And then Florida only had 2. And then fourth quarter, it was 3-4. And then they tied and went to overtime. And Florida ended up winning. But yeah, it was Florida's, what was it, 4th 1-goal victory this season. And they are 3-0 in overtime on the year. But yeah, Caitlin Davies scored the game winner. And she had 5 goals on the day, 4 draw controls, 1 caused turnover, and 1 ground ball. So she was all over the field. Jordan Basso had 4 goals, 1 ground ball. Everyone else had about 2 or 1. But yeah, that was a good game.
That was an exciting game. And yeah, I mean, Florida is just, it's ingrained in their program. They're gritty, they're fast, they're athletic. Are you okay?
I just whacked my elbow. Yeah.
So I picked Florida to win that game. But I mean, for Stanford, that's double overtime. That's a good fight. But yeah, Caitlin Davies played absolutely unreal. I think she was at 5 for 7, 5 for 6 on shooting that day. So, I mean, if it's double overtime, I'm putting the ball on her stick too. And she finished. Florida moves on and continues to host, actually, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome for them. I said, yeah, that's awesome for them. It's also going to be their 9th appearance in the NCAA quarterfinals, hosting it for the first time since 2014.
Oh, that is exciting.
Yeah.
11 years. It's crazy.
Davies
The
did tie a career high. Are we having a lag? I think we might be having a lag.
You think so?
I think there might be a slight delay between us. We keep talking over each other. But Davies tied a career high 5 goals. 9th hat trick this season and 10th of her career. So yeah, some fun facts there.
That is some fun facts. The next game that I was kind of just a little bit surprised by this one. I kind of knew this would be the outcome, but was BC Stony Brook was 10-7, where I feel like for BC for majority of the season, we've been seeing this offense just kind of roll through these defenses, even on like the draw circle, just kind of like an overall dominating team. However, you got to give credit where credit's due. Stony Brook's defense is aggressive. They're in your face. They make it hard to feed. So I'm a little surprised by the score, but also not totally surprised. And to be completely honest with you, most of the stats were pretty even. I think the difference in this game was just Rachel Clark. And then also Stony Brook was held to 0 goals in the first quarter, where BC had 5. And BC is not a team that you want to go down by 5 on to start off the game. But Rachel Clark kind of really kicked it into gear. She had 4 on the day. Emma Pinto had 3, very familiar names here, and a couple other people had 1. And then for Stony Brook, we're seeing more familiar names for them. Charlotte Wilmot, she had 2. Courtney McClay had 2, and a few others had 1 as well. But I think for Stony Brook, being held scoreless in that first quarter just kind of dug themselves a hole that was a little bit too difficult to get out of. And then with Rachel Clark having those 4 goals on the day kind of later on, kind of just put the nail in the coffin for them. But that's a good contest.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised to see how close Stony Brook kept it. I mean, great for them. Yeah, Courtney McClay, she's great. She had 6 goals against Loyola, I'm pretty sure. 5 or 6, I'm pretty. She can play all over. But yeah, going down by that much is hard to come back from.
Always. So BC moves on. They continue to host. The next game is North Carolina Clemson. That game did not really shock me. 18-9 North Carolina wins. They move on. This next game, however.
Yes, another double overtime. We had Penn versus Maryland. Penn came out on top, 11-10. When you sort of look at the outbreak of the quarters, they each had 2 apiece. Then 3 and 4, Penn had 0, Maryland had 1 after halftime, and then Penn had a huge fourth quarter, putting up 5 goals. Maryland only putting up 3, leaving them tied and going into double overtime. But yeah, I mean, great game. Love to see Penn come out on top there. But Anna Brandt netted 3 goals in the battle and became the first Quaker to score 200 goals in program history. So a little fun fact there.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
But yeah, exciting game. Love seeing these games go into overtime, especially in postseason. It makes for a great tournament. But yeah, they pretty much a close game throughout the whole time. But Penn, scored the goal when it mattered most.
At the end of the day, whoever puts the ball in the back of the cage at the end in overtime wins the game.
Yeah, so Penn had 36 shots, which is a ton. So the more you shoot, more likely you are to score.
Shout out Savannah.
Shout out
Savannah.
Shoot to get hot. Just tell them to shoot.
Coach Schweitzer. Oh man.
But yeah, Maryland had 16 turnovers. Penn only had Maryland had 16 saves. Penn only had 7 saves, but it didn't matter. And then turnovers, Maryland had 24 and Penn had 13. So
24 turnovers.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, Maryland. That's so unfortunate.
Maryland had 17 draw controls and Penn had 9. So stats sort of go back and forth, but Penn got it when it mattered. When you take 36 shots, your chances of scoring that last goal are a lot higher.
You said it, girl. The next game
Thanks.
was
Thanks,
the next
girl.
game was Virginia Duke. I think I had Virginia winning this game, but Duke
Yes.
manhandled Virginia
No, I had
or
Duke.
woman
I had Duke.
handled. Yeah. As Megan said before, Duke's kind of on a tear, people. Duke is on a tear. I'll knock on wood for them. And then
That would be sick if they beat Florida.
that would be crazy.
That
That
would
would
be
be
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, when was the last time Duke made a postseason run? I don't know.
It's been a
off the top of my
while.
head. Yeah. But yeah, next game was Hopkins Princeton. I had Princeton. I believe Meg had Hopkins. Princeton won 18-12.
Yeah, I was Team Hopkins for a lot of time this season. Ashley Mackin, the girl.
She's hurt. Did she play?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did? So she's not hurt
Yeah,
anymore?
but now you're making me feel crazy. I need to backtrack.
Well, I mean, she was hurt a few games ago, but
I'm checking
let's see.
because I feel like I saw a caption that said like something about Mackin.
Mackin. Ashley Mackin. Ouch, my knee just cracked. Yeah.
Yeah, she played. Okay, I knew I wasn't
She
losing
played.
it. All right. I know. I've been a big fan of hers this season. Unfortunate for the Blue Jays, but good coaching staff over there, great team, good culture it seems, so they'll be back. I'm not
They'll be
worried.
back.
They'll be back. I'm not
Really?
worried.
Next, we have our one and only Syracuse Orange falling to the Ivy, Yale.
Twice
Yale
in one
Bulldogs.
season.
9-8. It's a tough go. Actually, it's really unfortunate how it ended because they caught it. Syracuse caught it right on the crease at the end. They had last possession at the end of the game. Looked organized. Were working something. They were working the offense and caught the ball right on top of the crease, turned to shoot, and the defender stepped into the shot and got hit. So I would like to hope that, I mean, not that it matters, but I would like to hope that if the defender didn't get hit, we would have put the ball in the back of net and tied it.
Yeah, you can only hope, but the defender did
So true.
step in front of it. But Ashley Volpe, quite the day for herself for the Cuse. 4 goals on 5 shots. It's a really
She's
good
been
day.
underrated.
She's underrated. I'm excited to see her kind of grow a little bit more next season. And then Caroline Trink is also a great player for the Cuse this season. She had 2 goals as well. Obviously, it's never easy to lose in the tournament. So our hearts go out to the Cuse girlies. But for those graduating, on to bigger, better things. And for those coming back next year, just don't forget this. That's all.
So true, bestie.
Thanks, girl. Northwestern, Michigan, last game on Sunday, guys. Northwestern 15, Michigan 7. That went how it should have.
Yeah, that went as expected. Tough run for Michigan. Tough matchup. Tough side of the bracket for them. But Northwestern just dominated them. But that takes us to the quarterfinals starting tomorrow or today when you're listening to this. But our first matchup is Northwestern versus Penn, which I can't wait for. We have the one and only Savannah Schweitzer, who coaches at Penn, will be playing against her sister Delaney Schweitzer, who's a goalie at Northwestern. So we've got a little...
She'll be coaching against... Let's clarify. Yes. She'll be coaching against her sister. Maverick's a sweetheart, guys. He just gets excited. But yes, we have goalie Delaney Schweitzer facing off against her twin sister, Coach Savannah Schweitzer. That'll be at 12 p.m. ESPNU tomorrow, right in the middle of your day. Right smack dab in the middle of it.
Oh my God, I'm getting on a flight at that time. Dang it.
Just buy the Wi-Fi.
Watch it. I can't watch their live stream. It's tragic.
It's okay. But yeah, for Northwestern Penn, besides that, Nikki Miles, transfer from Penn, playing at Northwestern, having a pretty good season for herself over there.
I mean, then you have Madison Taylor for Northwestern, Anna Brandt for Penn, you know, the typical people. But this is a familiar matchup for them. The teams played last year in the NCAA quarterfinals. Northwestern won 20-7. So yeah, like Meg said, Nikki Miles was a defender for Penn, and now she is playing for Northwestern. So that's very funny how that works out.
I know. It is funny. But I kind of like, well, because I feel like with the Ivies, like whenever they transfer somewhere, somehow a lot of them always just end up playing against their old Ivy team.
Yeah. And Madison Taylor, she had 10 goals in the Michigan game. So that was an NCAA tournament single game record. She has 99 goals this season, tying Northwestern's single season record, and she's 4 goals shy of tying the NCAA single season record. So keep an eye out for her. She is really good.
Well on her way to breaking these records, guys. So keep your eyes peeled and enjoy some good lacrosse. I love this matchup.
Yeah, and then we've got Florida Duke, where love to see Duke win. I think Florida can handle them, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, that game will follow the Northwestern Penn game. That'll be at 2:30 p.m. All these games are on ESPNU, so you don't even really have to like switch the channel. You just have to sit there and it'll switch for you, which is so cool. I love technology. Florida Duke's playing. I agree with Megan. I think that Florida will come out on top here. However, with how Duke is playing right now, you can never really be sure, especially with Callie Hem. She is,
dude, she's so good.
Pop off queen. She is playing so well.
Talk about a postseason
Pop off breakout.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to call it.
Breakout. Yeah,
I don't even want to call it a breakout because she's been playing like this for Duke all season. She's been her. But
she's been her. She is her.
Yeah, she had 8 goals against JMU, 7 versus Virginia. She's not slowing down, or I hope she's not slowing down. She's really feeling that playoff pressure in a good way. But Duke heads down to Florida, and they've won 6 road games this year, which, if you are curious, that is a very good statistic to have.
Yes.
Especially if you're looking at regular season, you play 16, 17 to 18 games, right? So winning 6 of those is very good, especially when you're playing in the ACC. So
yeah, 6 on the road.
That'll be interesting.
Great.
Yeah, I would agree. And then for Florida, the usual suspects here, like Caitlin Davies, Franny Hahn. I really, really like her. I like her style of play. It'll be a fast game. I think it'll be a very fast-paced game. Yeah,
we just have a great day of games, and then we've got BC Yale following at 5 o'clock. So once again, do not get off your couch. Do not step away from the TV or the computer or your phone, whatever you're watching. Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
Just keep watching.
Just blink a few times, eat something, and just don't move.
But don't cook. Order food to the house.
Yes.
You can't stand by your stove and watch. You need to be sitting.
Yeah,
that was so silly.
Yale, I hope this is a great game. I could see BC just rolling them, but I don't know. Yale's not a bad team. So I think Stony Brook's zone defense is what slowed down BC in the NCAA second round. Yale, the number 4 scoring defense in the country, also plays zone. So hopefully they can give BC a run for their money, sort of look at the blueprint that Stony Brook used and just do a little bit better and slow down BC. So it is the number 2 scoring offense in the country. So many have tried and many have failed, but I have faith in Yale.
I mean, and Yale's got a little bit of an extra bit of motivation here. They're seeking their first Final Four appearance in the history of Yale lacrosse, women's lacrosse.
Yeah. That's sick.
So that definitely, I'm sure, is right. I mean, obviously, as we say, you take it one game at a time, but I'm sure that that little thought is sitting in the back of those players' minds, because I
Yeah.
would be having that thought in the back of my mind.
But then on the other end of the field, we do have Shea Dolce. Inside Lacrosse is calling her May Dolce. As you know, she plays her best in May. She's awesome all the time, but she knows how to play in May when it matters. She had that huge save, which gave BC a title win against Northwestern. So you can't count her out. She is Tourton watch list, Tourton finalist. She is amazing. She is also still young, so she's not going anywhere.
No, she is not. That'll be an exciting matchup. And our last one of this Thursday night is at 7:30. We have UNC versus Princeton, the number 1 seed versus the unseeded.
Yeah, T.
Unseeded Princeton.
But yeah, now Princeton's playing with something to prove. They didn't get a top 8 seed like Meg said. Instead, they demolished the team that did get a top 8 seed. So yeah, they are playing with some fire under their butt.
Oh, totally. Who am I thinking of? We talked about Haven Dora for them earlier this season. She's been playing great this season. Mackenzie Blake is just breaking records left and right at Princeton. So they'll have some firepower on their offensive end. But North Carolina defense also playing against it and then watching it as well. They're very good at sliding. They're very good at bumping, kind of forcing you which way. So I'm excited to watch these defensive matchups, especially against these talented Princeton offensive players, especially with Brooklyn Walker-Welsh down there. Forrest is down there as well. So that'll be interesting. I'm wondering who's going to mark up on who. That's what I'm thinking about right now.
So a few fun facts and some stats. Mackenzie Blake, Jamie McDonald, and Haven Dora all with 80 or more points. Princeton also turns the ball over very little. They rank 3rd in turnovers per game. That's combined with being 5th in shots per game. But a fun fact, the Tigers are one of the few teams that can match UNC's pedigree. They have both won 3 NCAA titles in program history. They've only met twice, though, and Princeton won 16-2 in the 2002 NCAA semifinals.
That is wild. Yeah. Wow, that is wild.
Thank you, Inside Lacrosse, for that fun fact. But yeah, not too much of a history, but enough of a history. It's not like it's UNC BC in the same conference always playing each other, but this is a fun little matchup we have.
Yeah, what an exciting time, guys. So that is your Thursday lineup. Let us know who you think is going to come out victorious here. But we also have our ideas. If you check out our Instagram, you'll see our bracket to see who we have moving on, and who we were wrong about as well, which I hate to admit, but happens.
Can't always be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went back to our episode 0 for season 2, which was probably back in February. And we looked back at who Meg and I predicted to win the Tourton. And now we have the finalists, so we're going to compare those. And we also had our way too early Final Four prediction, and we're almost there. So
we're almost there, guys.
We predicted Madison Taylor, Rachel Clark, Chase Boyle, Shea Dolce, Fallon Vaughn, and Jill Smith. I know that's 6, but at the time we were torn. And the current finalists are Madison Taylor, who we predicted, Chloe Humphrey, Ashley Humphrey. We did not see that coming. Rachel Clark, and Shea Dolce, who we both predicted. So 3 out of 5.
I think we had a pretty good idea on who we thought would be there. The Humphrey sisters, interesting. Like the last siblings were the Thompson brothers, if I'm not wrong.
Whoa. The last siblings what?
That were up for Tourton together?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
Feels like it's been a long time, but that'll be exciting to see if it comes down to them. Will they give it to both of them?
Wait,
Will they give it to one?
that'd be crazy.
The
but
argument that will
imagine
ensue.
that. Also, like, imagine going to Chloe being the redshirt sophomore and Ashley being like done. Oof. But I don't know. I don't know. Take this offline.
I'll take this offline. Yeah, but this is a star-studded finalist list. I would have a hard time choosing today. Like if I had to choose right now, I don't think I'd be able. I'd have to really sit with it, I think.
Like, do you have one without the other? I guess we don't know yet. We sort of know, but we don't know yet.
And I guess like also a big part of it too is like how you play kind of at the end of the season too. Like how you look in playoffs when you show up in bigger moments. So I guess we'll see what kind of happens there, at least.
Yeah. And we'll see who wins. Because, I mean, we've got someone from Northwestern, UNC, and BC. And I feel pretty confident that those 3 teams will be in the Final Four, which takes us to Meg and I's way too early Final Four predictions. I had BC, Northwestern, Florida, UNC. And Meg had BC, Northwestern, Michigan, UNC. So our only difference was that I had Florida, she had Michigan. Obviously, Michigan's out. Florida's still in, so I still have a chance to be correct. So we shall see. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, Megan has a good chance to be right here, but I will say that I think my bracket now has what your way too early prediction was.
Your bracket?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
My bracket now, the real one, like the one that we recently put together.
Yeah, but you had Michigan? Oh, I see what you're saying. Your bracket has what I have.
Yeah.
Got it. Because
so
I have Stanford.
Yeah, Meg had the right idea.
Dang trees.
Meg had the right idea early on. But this has a lot of exciting momentum moving forward as people are competing in the Elite Eight for the Final Four. Very exciting week or day of games, I guess we'll say. But this week leading up to it, those practices, they're intense. Playoffs, you're kind of, as people say, you're fighting for your life, basically. But yeah, I'm excited. I think these teams are going to line up really nicely together, and I think we're in for a treat when it comes to the Final Four. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be a great day of games. Super excited, and then I think we're going to have, no matter how it shakes out, a great Final Four. We've got a lot of competitive teams still in the running, so I mean, that's pretty much it. We have Inside Lacrosse posted their preseason All-Americans, and U.S. Lacrosse just posted their postseason final All-Americans, and it was really interesting to compare. But now that I'm looking at it, there's so many names. I'm not sure this is going to make the most sense. Maybe we can make a graphic.
Are you talking about comparing who's on?
Yeah, just comparing who made the preseason All-Americans and now looking at postseason, how it shook out. McKenna Davis was first team preseason. Now she's on second team. Anna Brandt is on. Where'd her name just go?
She's first team.
Yeah, she's on first team. But she was not first team preseason.
That means she had a really good season.
Yeah, but then you've got Brooklyn Walker-Welch, Sammy White, still first teams. It's really cool to see how everyone shook out.
Yeah, I like Bridget Duffy. She's now first team. Big fan of hers. And then also I'm a huge fan of Reagan O'Brien. I think she's fantastic. She's a defender from Hopkins. I think she's very good. Yeah, I think these lists. Fallon Vaughn, I wish you were first team. And Syracuse's own Emma Munchnick, third team. Love that. And then so many talented people. What a season. And we're not even done yet. So
not even done yet.
Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow or today, now that it's Thursday, watch lacrosse all day. And we will be back to check in with you guys as we head to the Final Four, the last weekend of lacrosse until the 2026 season. Woo!
Wow. Can't believe we're at the end. Almost. Well, that's a wrap. Watch lacrosse. Don't move from your couch, and we'll see you guys next week.